Hello, and welcome to the walk-off. We're going to go over some way too early 2023 power rankings for the MLB. You're not here for the research. You're not here for the stats and the analytics. You're here for the conversation and the community. So let's do that. Let's converse. Let's commune. And let's copy someone else's homework. So for this, we're heading to MLB.com. We're looking at a Paul Casella article here. It's never too early. 2023 power rankings for the MLB. Congrats to the Houston Astros. Another World Series ring. What's that? 3 in 6 years or something absurd. This Astros team really, really good. So they're going to start the list at number 1. Tough to argue with the Astros being number 1. This is a great team. Had a great season. Great results. Question for everybody. If the Phillies had won the World Series, would the Phillies be number 1? Does winning the World Series, is that just you're the best? You've got to be dethroned. You have the crown. Is that how you feel about power rankings? Do they get to be number 1 all off season, no matter what happens? It's a question worth asking. Number 2, we got the Dodgers. No surprise here. Dodgers, again, an elite team, an elite organization. They continue to build with prospects through trades, through free agency. Not as hated as the Yankees, but they are getting there. A lot of bitterness from other fan bases towards the Dodgers. As we go through the list here, just let me know what fan base you represent. I know we are predominantly a Blue Jays-based talk show, but we do seem to be finding a new audience throughout the MLB and with other teams. So Scott and I, in recognition of that, are trying to bring some more MLB broad content. So if you like this, if you like more MLB broad content, let us know in the comments. Drop a like. Let us know we're on the right page here. So Dodgers number 2. We got Braves number 3. Okay, so now we're going to start to get into the questionables. Still haven't seen the Phillies on this list. It was a good season from the Braves. I think a better season than they had in 2021, although the postseason ring would dispute that. Dansby Swanson, free agent, probably 3rd on the list of free agent shortstops this year, maybe 4. Man, is it ever deep in that free agent shortstop class. I'd like to see Dansby Swanson in a Blue Jays uniform. Padres number 4 on this list. Juan Soto looked good in a Padres uniform, joining Manny Machado and the rest of those guys. Not joining Fernando Tatis Jr., however, as he spent most of the season injured and then suspended for PEDs. Fernando Tatis Jr. will miss, I believe, 60 games of 2023 before he's eligible for return, serving that suspension. So let me know. We had an interesting comment on the mailbag this past week. Bo Bichette for Fernando Tatis Jr. straight across was the trade suggestion. Both players get a fresh start. I got to say, I know as Blue Jays fans, we're hard on Bo Bichette. You couldn't pay me enough dollars to take Fernando Tatis Jr. on my team. Super talented kid, but talent only gets you so far. He can't seem to stay on the field. Health is a major concern. Might even just be a full-time outfielder by 2023. The PEDs, I mean, he's got an excuse. I don't know if it's true or not. Biggest red flag for me was just how his teammates responded and their comments following the news of that suspension. That's a real big red flag. I haven't seen someone kind of yeeted under the bus as fast since the old Trevor Bauer with the LA Dodgers, but let's move on from there. Mets number 5 just signed Edwin Diaz. They spent $20 million a year on a closer. That's a lot of money for a guy who's going to, I guess, impact 40-ish games. That's a lot of money. We'll see if they have anything left in the tank to sign DeGrom, who is now officially a free agent. As is left-handed hitter Brandon Nimmo. I'd like to see Brandon Nimmo in a Blue Jays uniform. He could play center field for me. Move George Springer over to right field /DH. Trade Teoscar in a package with maybe Alejandro Kirk. Anyways, let's let's get down the list here. We got the Yankees tied for 6th with the Phillies. All right, I love seeing the Yankees down so far. Phillies here we'll get to in a second. Yankees, number 6. This is was a disappointing end to the Yankees for a team that came out of the gates through April and May just like a cat on fire. They were on pace for historic number of wins. It seemed like they had ran away with the AL East by April 2nd. I know the season didn't start till the 6th or the 7th because of the lockout, but you know what I mean here, right? So Yankees coming into the offseason with number 6 in the power rankings. Now here's Phillies. We talked about this right off the top with the Astros. Does winning a World Series give you the number 1 spot? Because if so, losing in the World Series should give you the number 2 spot, right? They were 2 games away from winning the World Series, but here, notable, it also took until the final series of the regular season just to make the playoffs. So what I want to know from Phillies fans, welcome to the walk-off. Congratulations on a great season and a lot of fun. I had a fun time watching the Phillies this year. Are the Phillies for real? Is this team fact or fiction? Kyle Schwarber sure looked good in the Phillies. Universal DH really helped the Phillies. I don't think the Phillies make the playoffs without a universal DH for Bryce Harper to slot into. Is your team going to run it back? I know that's always the question, right? When you get that close, how much retooling? Was it just some good matchups and some magical playoff run at the end? Or, I've heard one guy linked to the Phillies, Trey Turner. If the Phillies go out and sign Trey Turner, if I'm a Phillies fan, that's pretty exciting for me. So I like the Phillies here, but again, Phillies were 6. If they won 2 extra games, are they automatically number 1? Let me know. I don't know. I'm never quite sure how I feel about that. Then we got number 8, the Cardinals. St. Louis Cardinals. They did re-sign Adam Wainwright, a million years old, but they are losing Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols. Congratulations, by the way, Albert Pujols. 700 plus home runs. Just an incredible season from him. Incredible second half of the season, no less. St. Louis Cardinals. This is a team I think might be too high up the list. I don't know. I have some question marks with the Cardinals. Again, at number 9, more question marks with the Blue Jays. Disappointing season as well. Despite winning 90 wins back-to-back seasons, Toronto hasn't won a postseason game since 2016. Oh, Blue Jays fans, we all remember the 2015-2016 era. The bat flip, the bringer of rain, the Ed Wing. We remember it very dearly. Blue Jays power rankings kind of haunt us as fans. We went into the offseason probably in the top 10, but we went into opening day as what seemed like the runaway favorites. People were already engraving our names on the AL East trophy there, the pennant. Thank you. It was slow out of the gate. It was Yusei Kikuchi struggled, didn't look good for us until moving to the bullpen. He honestly looked pretty good out of the bullpen at the very end of September. It gives me a little bit of optimism for Yusei Kikuchi. Hyunjin Ryu, Tommy John surgery, obviously mid-season, took his season down, but never really looked good through the start of the year. Alek Manoah, Cy Young candidate. Great season from Alek Manoah. Gossman also looked great. Jose Barrios looked amazing sometimes and looked horrific other times. So I don't know what we're going to get out of Jose Barrios this year. The other question mark, Ross Stripling, going to be hitting the free agent market as Blue Jays did not extend a qualifying offer to him. So he is a free agent. That is one pitching spot that for sure needs to be resolved. Maybe we still bring him back. I don't know. But Blue Jays, it was a tough end to a tough season. Some growing pains for this young core. I still think we can have a good offseason, make some real moves, and come back with a vengeance in 2023. Seattle Mariners. Oh, the ousters of the Blue Jays. We all remember that series. It was over before it began. It felt like Mariners they ended a drought. Longest postseason drought in North American sports, ended by the Mariners this year. Julio Rodriguez, a real legitimate superstar. Hopefully he can stay healthy. He did have some injuries towards the second half of the season. Some question marks about his participation in the home run derby. Kind of scary there. Hopefully just a blip on the radar. And if he can be 158 plus games a season, this kid is the real deal with Julio Rodriguez. So very exciting stuff. Just a brief, quick breakdown of the rest of the 30 here. Rays at 11. The Rays are going to be good again next year. The Guardians, I'm not sure. I have my questions about the Guardians. Brewers, if they could figure things out with their pitchers, should be good again. White Sox, Tony La Russa's out. What does that mean for the White Sox? Once he kind of went on his medical leave towards the end of the season, they did seem to play better. White Sox fans, are you glad he's gone? Do you miss him already? Let me know. Baltimore Orioles. Now this is a real dark horse team for this offseason. Super talented young core. Adley Rutschman looked awesome, making his MLB debut. He might be the best catcher in the league next year. This Orioles team could be some spenders in free agency. I would say go all in. If I'm an Orioles fan, an Orioles organization, I've seen enough. This is a team that is ready to make a real push in the AL East. San Francisco Giants, way down the list here at 16. They're not necessarily front runners to land Aaron Judge, but they are a real threat to the New York Yankees signing away Aaron Judge. If Aaron Judge is the only real move the Giants make, how high up the list does he go? I mean, Aaron Judge, AL MVP, almost certainly this year. 62 home runs. He plays for the Giants. Does that move him into the top 10? I guess we'll see. Red Sox at 17. Red Sox, tough time to be a Red Sox fan. Kudos to all the Red Sox fans who are enduring some growing pains right now. Boston fans in general have been spoiled for the last 22 years. They've got Celtics winning in the NBA. They got the Bruins winning cups in the NHL. They got the Red Sox, who multiple World Series rings. New England Patriots, I always forget about them. That's a Boston team too, right? So they've been spoiled by some real talented, maybe the most championship parades of any city in North America through the 21st century so far. But they're entering some real weird times in Boston after trading away Mookie Betts because they couldn't get a contract done. Is Xander Bogaerts the next to go? I mean, he's got 1 year left on his contract, I believe. If they can't get an extension signed this offseason, though, is he traded away? JD Martinez hitting free agency. What do they do with Rafael Devers? They just spent all that money to bring in Trevor Story. It's a weird organization right now. Minnesota Twins saw Carlos Correa really had a good season with the Twins. I would say good, not great from Carlos Correa, but he's going to make a bunch of money somewhere else this year. The Rangers spent on 2 shortstops last season. They brought in Corey Seager and they brought in Marcus Semien, former Blue Jay. Semien had a really slow start, did end the year with I think close to 30 home runs despite not hitting his first until the end of May. I've heard the Rangers are some of the front runners in on guys like Jacob deGrom, Carlos Rodon. The Rangers are just going to keep spending money. I mean, they have to at this point, right? But if Rangers got Jacob deGrom, that would jump them up the list pretty quick. Angels continue to be bad. The rest of these teams continue to be bad. If you're a Pirates or an A's fan, all the love in the world to you for supporting your team through the dark times. As a Jays fan who grew up in the early 2000s, I've been there. Okay. But let me know what you guys think of these power rankings. Let me know what you liked of this video. Again, we're just copying someone else's homework here. All right. But we're here for the community and the conversation. So let the conversation begin in the comments section. If you're new here, please subscribe, drop a like. Let us know if you like this more MLB broad content or if we should just stay in our lane with the Toronto Blue Jays. Anyways, if you're not new here, thanks for being a part of the walk-off community. Do drop a like. Let us know in the comments. Stuff for Scott and I discuss on Tuesday for the mailbag episode. Otherwise, join the Discord. Free invite in the show notes down below, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.